guys, how you doing? It's Dave here. Hey, listen, it's been a while since we've done a video. Um, you know, Mostly because I've had stuff going on at work. Whatever. I wish this could be my full-time job, even though I might suck at it. It's more fun than actually what I do for a living. Um, Today we're going to be looking at how to make some DIY liquids, which I've had quite a few people ask if I could do like an instructional video, show them how to, some of my mixology, efforts. Some of my DIY liquids are good, some of them are horrible, but it's pretty much the same principle that goes behind all of them, and it's all based on, your ability to do a little bit of quick math and, having the right tools to mix everything together. I don't work in a super sterile lab environment, so if you were expecting to see, something in like a lab coat with super precise measurements and stuff like that, this isn't what you want to watch. You should go find a different video right away. The way I do this is all, unprotected, no gloves. I am using, big droppers and syringes, so my measurements I think are fairly accurate. But I don't work in a clean room at all, so this isn't the video if you're looking for, how to do this safely, because I'm not doing it safe at all. But I do feel as though my measurements are accurate. All right, today we're going to be making a 50-50 PG-VG mix. We'll go ahead and get started with it. All right, so when I do my DIY liquids, there's 4 basic components that I use. That is the propylene glycol. This is 99.9% pure USP food grade propylene glycol, and some 99.7 pure USP food grade. This is also kosher vegetable glycerin. Alright, and this is my nicotine base. This is from Wizard Labs. It's a 100% VG, 100 milligram per milliliter nicotine base. And I also like to use flavoring. Some people will make just their PG-VG mix without using any flavoring. They may use a little bit of like Everclear or vodka to thin out their juice a little bit, but I don't typically do that. I use a 50-50 PG-VG mix. This seems to work out pretty well for what I do. Alright, and this is a strawberry flavoring, and we're going to be trying this out today. This is from the Flavor Apprentice. I also picked this up from Wizard Labs. Now, Wizard Labs will sell these. This is an 8 milliliter glass bottle from Wizard Labs. I believe they just repackage these bottles from the Flavor Apprentice. It's got a Wizard Labs label on it. This is $1.50. It's actually a lot less than what you can buy it directly from the Flavor Apprentice for. So, when Wizard Labs is actually up and running and accepting orders, they have some pretty fantastic deals on small vials of flavoring. So those are my my 4 major ingredients. I also use a large 5 milliliter dropper, a 1 milliliter syringe, and a 5 milliliter syringe. So I've got some 10 milliliter syringes as well, but we won't be using those today. So the first one of the components that we're going to be working with is our straight vegetable glycerin. All right, so prior to shooting any video footage, I know that I want to make 30 milliliters of DIY liquid. So I've got my 30 milliliter empty bottle, And I've got my vegetable glycerin. It's already in a little glass where I can get it out with my dropper. Right, so I'm just going to use this dropper to draw vegetable glycerin from the glass and transfer it over to the 30 milliliter bottle. Alright, and I've got all my other components right here readily available. So I already know that I want to do a 50-50 mix, which what that means is I want it to be 50% propylene glycol and 50% vegetable glycerin. Right, that gives me the consistency that I like. Alright, so to make things easier for me at least, I got my my nicotine concentrate in a 100% VG solution. Alright, and it's also 100 milligrams per milliliter, which makes the math very simple. For every 3 milliliters of the nicotine base that I add to my overall solution, it's going to give me 1% nicotine, right, or 10 milligrams per milliliter. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use 6 milliliters of my nicotine base, which should give me a 20 milligram per milliliter concentrate of nicotine in my final product. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to add, because I want to use, I want it to be 50-50, alright, and my flavoring is PG based, we're going to use, we know that we want 6 milliliters of the nicotine base, and we want 15 milliliters of vegetable glycerin total. Because this is 100% vegetable glycerin, that means that we're going to use 9 milliliters of our straight vegetable glycerin base. And we're going to put that in before we put in our nicotine base. Alright, so we're going to draw up, because this is only a 5 milliliter dropper, we're going to draw up 5 milliliters first and drop it into the bottle. Alright, now we're going to draw up another 4 milliliters. Drop that into the bottle. So the next thing we're going to be working with is our nicotine base. Now, typically I would be using some rubber gloves, but unfortunately I don't have any available right now. So, you know, this is one of those do as I say, not as I do moments. But you should be using rubber gloves, especially with your higher concentrate nicotine bases. This being 100 milligrams per milliliter, you know, I know that you know, it's possible for this to cause some burning of the skin. You know, it's pretty caustic stuff. This nicotine concentrate would be considered poisonous. So just be very careful with this stuff. You know, I have no intention of touching it. You know, but if I were to come in contact with a nicotine solution that's this strong, I would want to go ahead and wash my hands right away. You certainly don't want to drink it. It doesn't smell very, very fragrant. You don't want to drink this stuff. So stay away from it. Keep it out of reach of any children that you might have. You know, these are just my standard warnings. You know, I always keep safety first. All right, so the nicotine base, as we mentioned earlier, I'm going to want to use 6 milliliters of my nicotine base. So I'm going to do that in 2 sections of 3. So this is a different. This is a new clean dropper. We're going to dip that right into the bottle and draw out 3 milliliters at a time. Alright, so that is the first 3 milliliters. And we're going to get 3 more. At this point, I've got 15 milliliters of liquid in the bottle, and that is all VG at this point. So the rest is going to be our flavoring, which is PG based, and our straight propylene glycol. Alright, so we're going to bring our tumbler of propylene glycol over. As you can see, this is much thinner. The vegetable glycerin is very thick. Alright, it's almost like a Karo syrup. Alright, so we got our dropper, clean dropper again. And we're going to draw up, I'm going to do 10% of this as flavoring, which means that that's going to be 3 milliliters of that strawberry flavoring. Alright, so if I'm using 3 milliliters of the flavoring, I want to use 12 milliliters of straight propylene glycol. Alright, so I'm going to use the dropper and draw up 5 milliliters. And drop it down in here. Alright, and I'm going to drop another 5 milliliters. And last I'm going to draw up 2. Alright, so 5, 5, and 2 is 12. It's all very simple math. Addition, subtraction, a little bit of multiplication maybe, you know, it's not difficult stuff. For the flavoring, we're going to be using a 5 milliliter syringe. Alright, and I believe I've got a 14 gauge needle on the end of that. Alright, so we're going to bring our small vial of flavor over and open that guy up. And we're going to use our syringe to draw out 3 milliliters of that. You remember we have 12 milliliters of propylene glycol. So we're going to draw out 3 mils of flavoring. There's 2 and 3 milliliters. And we're just going to shoot that straight into our bottle here. Alright, so there we've got it. I'm going to go ahead and put my dripper tip back in there. Alright, so the total amount of liquid that I've got at this point is 30 milliliters. Alright, so when you're done, you just want to give it a good shake. Alright, and when you're done shaking it, depending on how much vegetable glycerin you have in there, you're going to get a little bit of bubbles. There you go, guys. We've got 30 mils of a 10% strawberry Flavors Apprentice 50-50 liquid with 20 milligrams per milliliter of nicotine. And we'll go ahead and try this out. Now that we're done making our juice, we're gonna take some vapes on it. All right, so here's the finished product. And again, this is a 50-50 PG-VG. It's a 10% strawberry flavoring from the Flavor Apprentice, and it is 20 milligrams per milliliter of nicotine. Now, typically with the fruit flavors, I like to go ahead and test those out right away because a lot of them are very vapable without having to allow them to steep at all. So I've already given this some good shakes, but it never hurts to shake it up again just to make sure that everything is nice and mixed up well. So we get some good shakes on it. All right, and here I've got a Phoenix rebuildable dripping atomizer that we're going to be testing this out in. All right, so we're going to take our new mixture here. We're going to drip it right into my Phoenix RBA. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 10 drops. 6, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So we got 10 drops of our liquid. Let's take a. Oh yeah, it definitely smells like strawberries. Now that that's in there, we got this run down to 4 volts, and we'll take a quick vape of that. That's really good with the wow. Yeah, that strawberry, it doesn't smell like, it almost smells like a strawberry candy, but the at that 10% flavor, you know, it actually tastes a lot like a very fresh strawberry. The 20 milligrams per milliliter of the nicotine gives a nice throat hit. It's that's really good. You know, now usually I use a 10 milligram per milliliter um, nicotine concentration, but I actually made this for a buddy of mine that's trying to quit smoking. So I'm putting together a little care package for him, and you know, out of all the flavors that I had available, he's a pretty fruity guy, so he wanted it to be strawberry. But I may keep this one for myself, guys. Now, typically, I really like the juicy peach flavor from the Flavor Apprentice. That one's very good. Lately, I've tried some weird flavors from them. Uh, some of them that I would stay away from. Most of the flavors that I've tried so far have been from the Flavor Apprentice. I've tried a couple of McCormick and Watkins flavors, and those actually work out really well. I've tried like the coffee and chocolate flavors from McCormick and Watkins, and those work out pretty well. The Flavor Apprentice stuff, for the most part, I like to use a 10% mixture. But one of them that I would absolutely stay away from. It's horrible. It's horrible. If you like it, then you know, of course, everybody's flavor, you know, your taste buds are going to be different. But in my opinion, the M-type flavor from the Flavor Apprentice is putrid. It's supposed to, you know, be a take on Marlboro tobacco. It doesn't taste anything. It's just nasty. Nasty. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay away from M-type. That's just me, though. You may like it. I really don't like most of the tobacco flavors, which is kind of odd because I was smoking, you know, a pack a day plus. So at one point in time, I must have really liked cigarettes, but I hate them now. They're disgusting. And the M-type tobacco flavor from the Flavor Apprentice just doesn't do it for me. I found that I much prefer the fruit flavors and some of the like savory flavors. I've got a chai tea that tastes more like a pumpkin pie. But almost every fruit flavor that I've tried so far from the Flavor Apprentice has been fantastic, guys. The strawberry is great. The juicy peach is fantastic. The like the Granny Smith apple, the red apple, the apple pie is fantastic. You know, if you like fruit flavors, the Flavor Apprentice flavors are very good. So that about wraps it up. We're gonna take another vape here. Yeah, this is a really good flavor. All right. So on a completely different note, at the end of and we're wrapped up at the end of the video. Some of you guys may have noticed that I am using a ProVary now. Um, this kind of goes away from some of my previous videos where I've been using a Labatube V2 or a Vamo. You know, and I keep talking about, you know, we're gonna most of these videos are going to be focusing on vaping on a budget. Um, you know, the on the ECF forums, I joined the ECF back in December of 2012, and you know, within, you know, as soon as I reached the post count, I didn't know what a verified member was or what the benefits were, but I saw a bunch of people complaining about getting verified, so I wanted to get verified too and see what all the fuss was about. So I did I went through the verification process using my very old and established PayPal account, so it was probably pretty easy to get verified because I've got a lot of transactions on there. I'm a big eBay shopper, and you know, took a dip down into the classified sections of the electronic cigarette forums and found this ProVary. This was a satin silver ProVary when I got it. Found this guy for I want to say it was $100. Now, when I got it, it was V1. It was a little beat up, you know. But what I've done, as you can probably tell here, this has been polished up to a high sheen. You know, this is it's very shiny now. So the stainless steel of the ProVary will shine up really well. Um, so I think the point is that you know, I think it's widely accepted that the ProVary is one of the better variable voltage personal vaporizers out there on the market right now. And you know, if you can find one that's very cheap on the classifieds, regardless of what its physical condition looks like, the material that they make this thing out of, that solid stainless steel, is very much able to be polished up and cleaned up and look very nice. You know, like I said, when I got this thing, it was pretty scratched up. It was pretty bad off. You know, the bad part of that is, you know, as you can see on the sides, there's no more ProVary logo, but it's a pretty unmistakable mod. Um, you know, I sent this thing off to ProVape to, you know, so for $25, I got it upgraded from V1 to V2. So for a total investment of $125, which with the extension cap, you know, this has the 18650 extension cap on there, and I had the top cap replaced because the brass contact down in there was pretty dirtied up when I got it. So I just went ahead and had them replace that top cap. You know, this thing is working fantastic. So the point is that you know, as long as you're willing to accept some of the risks associated with buying used gear, the classified sections are a great place to pick up some really good gear at some really good prices. So you know, so for a total of an investment of about $125, I was able to pick up a ProVary and send it off to ProVape to get upgraded to V2. So I've got a ProVary with the V2 electronics. I shined it up myself, so now it's a very good looking mod for about $100 cheaper than what I would be able to pick one up for from ProVape. You know, in with the extension cap and some of the different things that I got along with it. It wasn't just a ProVary. So there you have it, guys. You know, along with the DIY, I wanted to share kind of my ability to dive into the ProVary club and do it for a very reasonable price. Excellent. All right, so that's all I have for this video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the subscribers that I've been able to pick up over the last couple of months, few weeks. You know, it's a very humbling for me that you know, I never really expected to get over 100 subscribers, and that's where I'm at now, which seems to be a fairly low number. But for those 100 people, I can't express my gratitude to you guys enough. I really appreciate that you guys have chosen to use me as a resource for you know, making your vaping experience a little better. And I really hope that all the videos that I make have helped you guys out. There should be some more coming in the very near future. One of the ones that I'll be doing here shortly, in the next few days, over the next week, is how to rebuild the Stardust atomizers. Now, it could be a little bit of a cheater type method. This is the Vision CE4 Plus, and you know, any other things that you guys would like to see. You know, I take requests. So you know, if you have a particular video that you're looking for, or you know, anything that you're looking to be reviewed, stuff like that, just let me know. And you know, it may be a while. You know, finances are tight. I live in Hawaii, so you know, I have to, and I work for the government, so you know, the budget's tight right now. So I'm trying to limit the amount of purchases that I make. But you know, once we get over this little fiscal cliff or whatever, you know, I should be able to get some new stuff. You know, here in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be getting one of the Chinese GG clones, the Chi-Chi, whatever you want to call that. So I'll probably be doing a quick review on that, and I can probably do some reviews on the equipment that I've already got. You know, specifically like the Kago variable voltage mod, the Vamo, the LavaTube V2. There's a lot of reviews on them, but you know, I know some people like to get a different take on products from different reviewers out there. And I really haven't done a lot of reviews. They've mostly been you know, how-to videos. So just stay tuned. And like I said, I appreciate all the subscribers that we've been able to pick up so far. You know, so until next time, you know, keep on vaping, and thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time, guys.